Welcome to the Twin Property Show. It's special guest Richard Zeff.
Hi Richard. Hello.
Yeah, another estate agent.
Good morning, internet. How are you?
Another bloody guru coming on the show. Form an orderly queue.
All the gurus.
Gurus assemble.
Yeah, this one's good.
We like this one.
Good guru.
Actually, do you know, the thing I like about Richard is that he's not one of these trainers that they said, right, you do this, and this. He's more of a holistic approach, and he's going to use a word that I don't understand. What's that word, Richard?
Ontological.
Oh, you're clever. What does that mean?
I don't know. Let's roll the titles though first.
Say that.
Yeah, I know, but you started talking about ontological.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. So So Richard, who the hell are you? And you've got 3 sentences. Go.
I am the founder and owner of EALife.
Okay.
We make estate agents good.
Yeah.
Or great.
Or better.
Or better.
Yeah.
And we love making a difference with estate agents.
Okay.
Nice.
Where do you think most trainers go wrong in estate agency?
I'm not sure if they go wrong, and from what I know, most trainers offer come with us for a day and you'll be great, and there's a demand for that and there's a need for that, and
Yeah.
I've used that myself in running businesses. And the approach we have at EALife is a little bit more holistic and a little bit more
Ontological.
Oh, do you remember that word? You're clever. You're
I don't know.
Yeah, he's clever.
in our
He's smart.
approach.
Okay.
Yes.
So what does that mean in real world?
Ontology is the nature, the context, the why in which we're doing things, you know.
Right.
So people get to discover on the courses why they are estate agents, and really, like, what difference does an estate agent make? What difference are we really making to people's
All we
lives?
do is just find a buyer for a house. You know, we're all glorified purple bricks, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well just stick your road on a postcard and pop it in the local
You
newsagent.
might as well, might you?
Do you deal with emotional intelligence then? If you're thinking about the whys and the wherefores, as
Like
opposed
Simon
to just
Sinek.
You've got to remember, I was an estate agent, so I'm not sure I deal too much with emotional intelligence. But what I do with is getting really clear that what makes a difference when we're learning is linear learning. Will make some difference, you know. So it will be good to know that if I answer the phone like this or say this question, it will make a difference.
That's linear learning.
That's linear learning. And ontological learning might go a step before that, so where you just look at why would you ask those questions. You can create those questions however you want to create them, depending on your business or your brand, but if you're clear on why you're doing it, it's going to stay with you a lot longer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Interesting. So yours is more like you just mentioned there. There's a lot of, you know, awesome day boot camp courses, whatever, that sort of inject the whole business, and they go away. Okay, some of them might never do anything with it, but they come away motivated.
Why don't most people put what they'd learn on a course into action?
It's strange when you're paying that much money, even if it's just a day course. You wouldn't go away and plough that back into your business. But I get people get caught up with working again and going back to the daily grind.
Why?
I think that there has been something which I'm pleased to say is cooling off now in the industry, which used to be, it's a natural skill, estate agency. You can either sell or you can't. You know, you can either enrol people or you can't. Whereas what people have realised now is that's not relevant to 2019.
No.
We're businesses. Estate agency is a business that happens to sell houses. And like all businesses, whether they're multinational, small local enterprises, successful ones, growing ones, know that training is important, and that we like to tell people. Our staff go on 4 training days a year.
Yes.
We're trained in this, we're skilled in that.
Yeah. But also, I mean, it's not just as easy to say you can do this or you can't. Some of these skills can be learnt.
A lot of these skills can be learnt.
Yeah. So, you know, people maybe have a natural affinity for people. They might be good with people. They might not be good with people. But some of these things can be teased out, can't they?
I think a lot of these things can be teased out, and I think that the skills. I think the industry is changing. I think we're all very clear on that. And one of the things that's changing in the industry is the rate in which it's changing. So that's
Isn't that the world, though?
That is the world, totally. And that's why businesses now, growing businesses, responsible businesses, get that. Let's get people who understand our brand. Let's get people in who understand our core values, what our mission and vision is, because most other things can be trained, because sales skills that may have been required 10, 20 years ago, powers of persuasion, are not good for business anymore.
Good stuff. I tell you what, let's go into the
nitty gritty.
That's project. But I tell you what, but before we do, we've got a new addition to the wall.
Yeah, so the guys at Moneypenny,
That's how you get them out.
You can get them in a second.
the guys off of Moneypenny have kindly donated some socks for the wall.
Not just socks for the wall. These are the new line.
These are the new lines.
So
this is like exclusive.
Exclusive. Yeah.
Coming to a conference near you.
Conference
So
chat.
thanks, Moneypenny. We're going to add them.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
We're going to add them to the wall.
No, hold on. You'd have saw them 2 weeks ago because we film a few weeks in advance.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Moneypennies. We really enjoyed our time there.
Appreciate it.
Okay, but as everyone knows, everyone who comes on the show gets some Yondell socks. So would you like the pink ones or the green ones, Richard?
I'm going to go green.
Perfect.
Okay.
So thanks Yondell for the socks and a pair of the awesome
Wando!
So Wando, cheers for the specs again. I cannot recommend these enough. They're great to leave in the car, your bag, your house.
Yes.
I've noticed when I put them on, all your clothes fall off all three of you.
They're magic.
Do you remember those pens? The pens you used to get?
On that note, it's time for That's the Prop Show.
That's growing on me, that title.
Do you
I don't like it to start with.
Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it?
The Fez is.
So, Harry, we've got a few questions this week, so let's rock and roll. This man's got a train to catch.
First,
Literally.
do you want to start with Rightmove?
Come on,
Do I want to start with Rightmove?
Yeah. Do they abuse their power with estate agents? I.e., they have market share in terms of exposure. Do they abuse it?
I think that Rightmove is a very relevant tool still for estate agents in the UK.
I agree.
So, yeah.
100%. And it no longer can be or should be a USP for any estate agent. And even if you've got more premium listings or featured properties than the agent up the road, that also shouldn't be your USP.
Yeah.
And there is a conversation possibly for the portals when you're talking to potential vendors with regards to marketing, that the portals themselves is part 2, stage 2 or stage 3 of your marketing
This
plan.
is quite interesting. We were having a chat on the sofa, which will be out in about a month's time. And what Richard was saying is some of his best performing clients, estate agency clients, actually suggest to their vendors that when their house goes on the market, they have like a 10 or 20 stage marketing plan, but putting it onto the portal is held back for 2 or 3 weeks. Whilst they do the more traditional stuff like picking the phone up.
Well, I mean, me and Chris would agree with you because I'm looking for somewhere to live at the minute. And do you know Boyd Mayover, the sales doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it made me laugh because I had to make some phone calls to get a viewing sorted out. And, oh, Boyd, there's a company in Leicester that need your help. I won't name names. What do you think about Rightmove abusing the power, going back to what Richard was saying?
I personally think agents use Rightmove to list their properties because, let's be honest, it creates a level playing field from one-man band all the way up to the big boys.
True.
It's a good place. Their fees have certainly gone up. I mean, if the fees on Rightmove have gone up by inflation, they'd be around £300 a month at the moment, not £950. I still believe they offer great value for money in terms of what they offer because, again, 20 years ago we had to spend £200-300 a week, and that was £300 a week in old money for newspaper advertising.
Which would be £900 a week now, probably. £800 a week.
So it'd be a lot of money, let's just say that.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest issue I think at the moment is their perceived lack of empathy towards estate agents.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of phrases like, "This is the fee that you're going to be charged this year. Take it or leave it." You need us more than we need you. Those are words that have come out the mouths of right move reps. And I'm sorry, don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic right move reps at the moment, but I've got a real beef at the moment, and a lot of people in the industry have got a beef with right move about their attitude. They could be more empathetic towards us.
Well, we go to
What do you think?
I think that there's something in what you're saying, and I think that Rightmove themselves started addressing this a few years ago, and I think that
They've got some excellent training.
they do excellent training, and I think the experience that they give the customer, the experience that they give the agent now, is very different to the experience they gave them 2-3 years ago. Is it still, fantastic value for the fees? I know companies that are spending a lot more than £900 a month, and they've only got 1 branch or 2 branches, and they feel very much there isn't another option possibly open to them.
There are more options. I personally believe that agents, if you are going to be on Rightmove, should be on the base package. I've got
No, I agree with you, because if you're trying to cover, like Darren Cope, hi Darren in Derby,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show. Good to see Arla the other week. Darren's on the market, Zoopla and Rightmove.
Do you need to be on all 3?
Well, he was saying that their leads have gone through the roof because they're using all 3. So I don't know where.
Now this is an interesting fact for you boys and girls out there, because I don't know if you noticed, but we're on a few estate agency Facebook groups.
Yes, I've seen you on the forums.
Yeah, we all are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't go on it because you're just looking at Star Wars stuff, aren't you? Okay.
The new trailer looks amazing, eh?
Okay. Anyway,
Should we drop the new trailer in?
No, you can't because you get done for copyright. Okay. No, but this us must score.
We could do courtesy of Disney
Courtesy of
Pictures.
Disney Pictures. Yeah.
There's me trying to soar with the Eagles. I've got around.
Okay, so you're talking about 3 portals delivering more leads.
Yeah, okay. I believe every estate agent and every letting agent should look back at every single one of their sales and lets for the last 2 years.
Yes.
And actually go forward it all the way through back to where that original lead came from. Mm-hmm. Because the number of people are judging Rightmove giving me X leads, Zoopla giving me X leads. Well, there was one lady on one of the forums that actually said, I get 6-7 times more leads from one portal, but all my leads, actual business, comes from the other portal.
Right.
So which one should I drop? And you think to yourself,
yeah.
But I think as well that there was really.
I know. Come on. Are we judging it's quantity versus quality?
Yeah.
I think what's really relevant here is that if you're an estate agent that markets themselves in a particular way, so one of your brand messages is, we expose your property more than anyone else.
Yep.
Nobody gives exposure like we do. Okay, then you promote the fact that we're on all these portals, Zoopla, Rightmove, on the market, and we're on that within 24 hours, sometimes the same day of you instructing with us. Okay, great, that's your message, and there's certain types of clients that will want that. Mm-hmm. And there's not everyone. Certain type of clients might turn around and say, well, actually what I want is I want 3 or 4 weeks grace before Rightmove, because I've heard that Rightmove, 70% of properties are being reduced on Rightmove within the first 4 weeks, and the minute they're reduced, they say reduced, and that thing can't be taken off. And I don't want it looking like my property has been reduced within 3 or 4 weeks of it going on the market.
Come back to what we were saying before.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's the next question, Chris?
The next question is, why do valuers make poor managers?
Not always, but go on. A lot do make dreadful managers.
Why is that?
Don't know, that's the man.
Well, is that a skill thing that they could learn?
Or why was I a dreadful manager when I first went into management and left valuing? And I wasn't a great manager when I first was a very successful agent and then a great valuer and then went into management.
It's almost a prerequisite to be a manager. You have to be a good valuer. That's the only.
That has been something that we've known in the industry for many years. That was the path. That was the career path. Because what happened was people would get to valuing and there didn't seem to be another reward for achieving things. All there was this sort of like get to the top of the summit. The top of the summit is
to not do what you love and become a manager.
Do the manager. And then what you do, you end up managing somebody who's not as good as you were doing that job because you were great at that job.
Yeah.
And then all this conflict starts to occur in the branch because they're not naturally good at it. You were naturally good at it, which is why you ended up becoming the branch manager, which is why you'll see these figures often where you have a very successful valuer, branch manager leaves, area manager says, or company owner says to the valuer, you know, you're really good, you step up now, you know, the guys listen to you, we can do it, and you step into that position. And your senior neg or your neg, you think you'd be able to value, and they go out and value, and then you hear them chasing up, or you hear them booking an evaluation, or you go out with them on evaluation, and there's this, no, don't do it like that. No, you mustn't say that. Oh, you got it. And it just creates this very unhealthy environment. The answer is like what we can learn from established enterprises and businesses, which is that there doesn't always have to be, the reward doesn't have to be promotion.
Yes.
And if there is promotion, it doesn't need to be this title-driven promotion. There are far bigger, there's far bigger value for companies and employers to get from their employees where reward is given in, you know, in
non-financial ways.
Well, non-financial ways, but also in sort of fulfillment of sort of their life. You know, so people feel very supported in their life as they do in their workplace. You know, so whatever they're trying to achieve in their life, they feel very supported in their work. So there is this contentment. There is, I'm going to do this job totally fantastic for the next 10 years and I'm going to be great at it. I don't need to become the branch manager. The branch manager can deal with all the little nuances and up reporting and up managing and down managing and leading and all the rest of it.
That sounds like communication, and the bosses should be talking to their employees and finding out what they want. Isn't that interesting?
How interesting.
What's the next question?
Is pay up front dead? Or is it sustainable? In
what, like purple
market?
bricks?
We don't say purple bricks, but yeah, like purple bricks. well,
mauve-coloured breeze blocks.
No, you can say that, but I mean,
It's like Voldemort.
You could say iMove, not iMove.
No.
Which was the one that went pop?
Oh,
eMove.
eMove. There you go. We'll just use eMove as an example because they went pop.
It's all right. We can just pay up front.
Yeah, pay up front.
Everyone knows what we're talking about.
Everyone knows what we're talking about. Pay up front. Is it sustainable in the current market?
I think the one thing about the large pay upfront company stroke is that they run themselves as businesses.
Yeah.
So they're very clear what they're out to do. So they've got sales and marketing and data and customer journeys and nurture journeys, and they're very clear on what their goals are, what their mission and vision is, and their core values, and they're run as businesses. So are they sustainable in the sense that as a business, are they here to stay? Yes, you know, I think they are here to stay, and they're just part of the industry now. And there's a lot of things that we can learn as high street agents from separating ourselves from being estate agents, but being businesses that happen to be estate agents.
Yeah.
Well, similar. Gary Vee, he said, it doesn't matter what business you run, you should, in today's new age world, you should be a media company that happens to provide
sell
training.
houses.
Media company that happens to be a media company in our case. But
A media company that is an awesome media company.
yes,
Who knew?
But it's true, isn't it? Like, I mean, I was chatting to a friend last week and sells garage doors as it happens and fits them. And
Is that an up and over business?
It's an up and under business.
Hey,
Smart doors.
nice.
Nice. But we say to people all the time, like the guy we're getting some new Chris, show off your t-shirt. We've had these for a year or so. We're getting some snazzy new ones, a bit like a Masters Pro Golf top and some.
Congratulations, Tiger.
Yeah, well done, Tiger. Good
Yeah, you
comeback.
won a month ago. Remember, this is a month ago.
Yeah, well done, Tiger.
Still
Not
awesome.
yesterday.
A month
Not yesterday.
on. Still awesome. A month on.
But we said to the guy, you know, what social media do you use? And he said, we don't do it, didn't he?
He did.
And we could not believe that
Staggering.
a big business, small business nowadays doesn't use it.
Should we just do a quick clip for Arla?
Arla, we went there some weeks ago.
Some weeks ago.
Some weeks ago.
Okay.
Who should we...
Well, let's just decide the best one.
Okay.
So yeah.
I've got the big dog himself, the DC, the main man from Derby.
How you doing,
Darren,
Chris?
what have you come to the Arla for today?
It's my first one. So I'm a Arla conference virgin. Excellent. So I wanted to see what it was all about. There's obviously a lot of buzz at the moment. Things changing almost daily. So it's just to get around, meet people, see what's going on, and see what everybody else is doing in these uncertain times.
Now, Darren is a pretty damn successful letting agent. He's grown his business by about 500 properties, probably even more in the last 3 or 4 years. What are you doing on top of growing your letting agency to alleviate the tenant fee ban?
Oh, it's a bit of everything, isn't it? You can't just rely on one thing. It's increasing fees where they're necessary, it's cutting costs, it's looking at efficiencies, it's updating your processes, picking out the right prop tech to help the staff.
What sort of prop tech are you using at the moment to help you run your business that really works for you?
That really works. We're using Inventory Base as our inventory preparation tool. We're now on all 3 portals, which is really good actually. We're using Dupix as the CRM, and always looking for new stuff. Excellent. But there's a lot out there. It's being able to pick and choose which one works for you.
It's really hard in the letting agent because they reckon there's over 700 They reckon there's over 700 bits of prop tech out there. I can't even say it. And what would you say to any letting agent out there who's really finding it tough out there?
Stick with it. It's all about the service. The service will shine through, and you've just got to be better than everybody else and provide a better solution than everybody else.
It's hard work, though, isn't it? It's a lonely old game being a letting agent.
It can be, and that's why things like this helps people talk to each other. I mean, a few years ago, letting agents didn't talk to each other because they were so scared about giving their secrets, what they do better, and all that. But now, I think everybody feels as though they're in the same boat, and I think it's like a joint front. It's like a joint effort.
I mean, that's what I love about Arla is that you run your own business and you're on your own, but you're not alone.
No, absolutely. And there's a lot of it. There's even Facebook groups and things like that. It's communicating with people that are in the same boat, and so you don't feel alone. You can hear your views and ask for advice.
Excellent. Thank you very much. This is Chris Watkin and the big DC Darren Coate from Derby checking out at the Arla 2019 conference. Thanks, big man. That was Chris. Cheers.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
What a very interesting man/woman person.
Speaking of, let's find out what our man on the ground's thinking.
Steve says, are you the digital mayor?
Thanks, Steve. Right, so that's the end of Ask the Prop Show because my head's getting hot.
There you go.
It's ruining my head.
Well, this man's got a trade scrap.
So I would like to thank Richard Zeff. Would you like to thank Richard?
I'd like to thank Richard.
We'd like to thank Richard. Richard, thank you for coming along to the Prop Show. Make sure if you want to get in touch with Richard, you can get in touch.
Yeah, how do we contact you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on the website.
What is the website?
Ring me www.EALife.co.uk.
Sounds great. So if you want to get in touch with Richard, that's the way to do it.
If you're struggling with making film in this digital age, just call me or Chris. We'll help you out.
I've got a course coming up.
New course.
New course.
Okay.
New course.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks' time.
There may or may not be tickets left.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
Blind man. Lovely. I think there's only one thing to say, and that's point at the camera and shout, Shalom!